Okay, I'm speechless right now. Can't even see that in the Spectrogram. Okay. Now I'm 100% sure that this scene is fake. Sony just enabled a new interesting feature called 360 audio recording. And it's basically the same thing that Sennheiser did like years ago. But it was no success because who is supposed to record binaural audio or 360 audio on the go? But still interesting move. And let's check out the promotional video. And I can tell you it's interesting. So let's have a look. Already weird cue to have like this plink sound, and there's some background ambience, and you can clearly hear how the background ambience cuts in and then cuts out so that you would have this plink sound. I'm not sure why they decided to put it on top of a bass that's already there, but let's continue. I'm 90% sure that this clapping sound is just basically a clap sound with artificial reverb. It could be some sort of 3D reverb like DVR Pro, but it's a bit odd to show, hey, we have 3D 360 audio recording, and then you literally hear a sound that has not been recorded with 360 audio. But we will hear how it sounds like right after this. Have a listen. Okay. Well, let's have a more in-depth look on this later before I completely destroy everything because I'm a German sound guy, right? Ka-ching! It's the sound of you spending money on useless tools. I'm so confused. Let's have a listen again. I first thought that this is gonna switch from mono to 360 since there's like this checkbox. Did I miss it? Or am I doing it wrong? Especially here. I sort of hear something 3D-ish going on, but the perspective doesn't really match, and I just see her. So like, what's the point of even adding 3D? Yeah, it switches on, but as soon as it switches on, it's completely mono. What it appears to me. Maybe let's check if I can see this. Whoops. Must track out the window. And yeah, it's basically just some panning from the middle to the right. And I'm 90% sure, 99% this time, that this is fake. If you watch a train passing by, you would hear the sound coming from the train, but the sound wouldn't suddenly move away from you. This would happen when the train leaves the train station. So clearly this audio doesn't match to what was recorded. But let's have a more realistic...
Hey!
Listen.
Let's go! Let's go!
Okay, that's one of the few cooler scenes, I would say. Hey, you have to see the guy talking to you. Let's go. It still doesn't quite match because it sounds like this person is wearing the earbuds. So the person on the right is fairly close to what's happening, also the lab. But I'm, as a viewer, like 1 meter away, so it doesn't really match. But it's a nice scene. I appreciate it.
Let's go! Let's go!
It doesn't have anything to do with 3D audio, what I'm criticizing here. But you can clearly see the guys dancing and having a good time. So you would expect at least some sort of sound or movement, may it be music, may it be foley of the clothes rattling or something. But like that, the whole performance seems empty. This could be a stylistic device because I feel like they will enable the sound right now. Let's have a listen.
Yeah.
Oh god. Where should I start? As you can tell, it just sounds off, and it's even clipping. Yay. I mean, this is what happens when you send a bunch of influencers who are fairly good dancing and probably fairly good at influencing their job, but don't really have knowledge about recording sound or even 3D audio, and this is what you end up with. I think that was the sound. Oh no, that was the train. You can see the train starts fairly mono-ish, because the left and the right channel, they look fairly similar. But then it nearly clips. My god, look at those peaks. That was squashed with a limiter. But yeah, using a limiter with 3D audio is not what you would want to do, because in the end, you just, squash everything and lose all the spatial depth that you would want to have. So where's the part with the yay? You can clearly see how this is clipping. I mean, it's reaching the border around here. Let me check if I can fix that. Let me check for the declipping. It's basically a tool where I can suggest any sort of rebuilding the peaks, because you can tell here the peaks are at the border at -0 degree. But I think this was limited. But you can see it's like we have multiple bits already hitting the 0 degrees. So I'm pretty sure I can't really change a lot about that. Yeah, maybe let's go hard. Like here, do enable a post limiter, so it will be quieter now in the end. But you will see, whoops, how does it sound like? Sounds better, I suppose. Let's shit back the original. I'm not sure why you would do a promotional video with the sound clipping, but let's have a listen to the file, the scene afterwards. This is believable. I think this is alright. It's a nice scene. What I'm confused about the scene is, where is the guy wearing the headphones? Because the whole point of those earbuds is you wear them inside your ears, so you become a dummy head, just like I have on here, on your own, so you can move freely, which is interesting. I mean, I also have, as you can tell, a bunch of headphones, yes, who do the same thing. But for here, there was a guy wearing those earbuds, but putting the camera to the feet so that you would have the scene. But as you can tell, it doesn't really match to where the guy was standing, so it's probably crouching. But as we can't perceive any sort of height information, so elevation as humans, or we have a more difficult time, we can focus on the left-right thing. It always works pretty good. But having it, being able to differentiate top and bottom is always pretty different. So this shot is okay. So confused about how they mix the ambience. We can see that here. What's the part? There we go. It's 52 seconds. And we can even see that in the spectrogram. That if we go to 52 seconds, probably, there's this bass playing in the background, right? And we can see it here. There's like something coming in at the top. Can you hear this? Here there's some ambience going on. You can also see it, as I mentioned, like at the high frequencies, there is something happening. And here it suddenly disappears. What's that? And I wouldn't do that because the scene is the same. Like, why is this scene having why do we have ambience in this scene but not? It makes it look so empty. That's not how you are supposed to mix any trailer with originals. Also, this is just cringe for me, but this is just my perspective, as mentioned. that you see people dancing and you don't hear anything. You just hear music, which is non-diegetic music in this case, so it's not even part of the scene. I would imagine something like a boombox playing in that room, and it would help to sell your product, basically. People would understand, oh, this is how it would sound like if I was there with the guys dancing. And I mean, we had the same yeah, yeah, yeah scene before. And I have so many questions. Okay, I'm speechless right now because what's happening here? I'm 99, now I'm 100% sure that this scene is fake. I mean, we have the guys shouting yeah, yeah, yeah again, which is totally fine. I mean, they're having a good time, and I'm just roasting them here, so who am I to judge? But there's a car passing by, and that's the scene. But as you can perhaps tell, that on the voice of these guys, there's some reverb going on, and it doesn't match to what I would expect a city scenery sound like. So I think they recorded this yeah, yeah, yeah in the room, maybe from before, and took the sound and put it outside, but it doesn't match. Let's have a listen again. That you would think, if you close your eyes, you would hear, oh, these guys are still indoor, but they're clearly outdoor. And then they added some fake car sound passing by, because with the distance, the camera's like, I don't know, maybe 5 meters away. It's across the street. Then there's car passing by. There's no way that the recording from the yeah, yeah, yeah sound would sound as present as it's now here in the scene. So I'm not sure what's the point of trying to fake the scene. Maybe the original sound was not good. That's, it's just not believable. And I mean, I feel like in this scene, the marketing guys are like, what should we spend the budget on? Should we spend it on fancy animation, or should we spend it on good sound? And in the scene, it clearly decided to spend it on good animation, because as you can tell, there's sound-wise nothing happening. But this would have been a great opportunity to use sound, maybe to, I don't know, have something flying around your head. I don't know. Nothing happening. I mean, there's this cool rotation. You could use some, I don't know, maybe just a whoosh sound, something that's making the scenery more vivid, but there's nothing happening. Yeah, Galaxy Buds 2 Pro 360 audio recording. That's catchy, right? Oh, damn it. I still don't get why they call it 360 audio recording. I mean, it's not like Sony has something happening called 360 reality audio. Now Sony has 360 audio recording. Like, how confusing is that? Hey! So, interesting promotional video. I hope you could learn something from my perspective, why I would judge pretty hard on this video. There was so much opportunity to do a great video. And those type of videos, like this ASMR sort of binaural recording, they are pretty popular on YouTube. But as you can tell, it's pretty difficult to transform all this hype into a commercial video. I had the project for Audi, which is called Audi RS, what was it, ASMR 8D, where we took basically 8D and ASMR and put it into a commercial video. And it worked kind of good, because we didn't think too much of, oh, how should a commercial sound like? And this is literally what's happening here. They took a script that would have worked in stereo and now tried to add some magical 360 audio or 360 spatial sound on top of it to make it work. But this is not how I would approach it. I would have done the other way around and think of interesting sounds that could have worked. They did do the skateboard thing, they did do the train thing. I think there are elements there that work, but as an overall commercial, there are so many things that just throw me off because they don't match, or they tried something that's not happening and try to fix it in post. So this is clearly what we can learn from this commercial, not to do. I hope you learned something. So cheers!